Hello there YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing something very interesting that a lot of people have been asking about. I've covered this in a smaller amount of detail in my other videos, but this one is going to be going fully in depth about the topic, which is who is the actual little girl from the cover and where does she fit into the story. So this is going to be a theory analysis that shows every little bit of detail and provides some more insight and context into who she could actually be. I hope you enjoy the video as I've put a hell of a lot of effort into this, and if you did enjoy it at the end, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and a subscribe. But without any further delay guys, let's get right into the material and the theory itself. One of the first works of art we got for Resident Evil 7 was a cover art for the game itself, which has a little girl who has been silhouetted out. We're not able to see her facial features or clothing, however she is near the Camille family mansion and we can tell she at least has a dress on. So I think this is definitely to show that there's something wrong with her and that she is infected, as well as that I think her being outside the Camille family mansion definitely has an implication that she has some kind of contextual link to the family itself. But it gets more interesting. Here is a leaked image of Mia, and it is very important to this theory because it will go on to prove quite a few concepts. Now if you look at this image and take the facial details in very grossly, you'll notice that she looks very similar to the person who kills Pete and Clancy in the kitchen VR demo, and I'll show an image of the facial features of that girl very close now, and as you can see they are very surprisingly similar. The hairstyles, the nose, the mouth, everything is almost identical. And there's another key thing to note here. Now I know this is supposed to be a theory video about the girl, and I'm gonna tie this in. I don't think Mia is the little girl on the cover, but I'm going to elaborate in a few moments and we'll all get to what is actually going on here. But for now I just want to continue on and focus on Mia and this ghost girl for a second, as this is important and the information is key to the rest of the theory. Now a lot of people thought this specific girl was actually going to be the ghost girl herself, and that she's just more agile and she's actually a killer, because she uses stealth in this demo quite a lot, similar to the ghost girl just disappearing. There's a lot of inconsistencies however that I would like to point out. For a start, if you look at the ghost girl herself, she is wearing a dress. Now this dress itself is important because you can see in the CEDEC images they actually got the render from this from a real person, and on top of that the girl who was actually murdering didn't actually have a dress on at all. She had pants and a vest on, which is actually similar to a screenshot of Mia in the lantern demo when you see her shadow, which is very interesting and further cements the idea that the girl who killed Clancy and Pete is actually some sort of ego for Mia herself. So I know I've been going off topic just a little bit, but I do believe all these details are relevant and I will now be showing why. So we all know that Ethan and Mia have been separated and that Mia has been lying to Ethan herself, which is shown by this.
Ethan, you were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
So I think we can all agree after this that Mia is definitely hiding something. She is definitely in suspicion for being the girl that murdered Clancy and Pete. However, I would like to say this is where the connections get a little more finer, because we know the little girl is definitely playing some kind of central role to the story itself. However, we haven't seen any imagery associated with her from any other characters or any voice lines. The Bakers haven't mentioned her, nor is she in any family portraits. She has not been mentioned by Camille or Lucas or referenced as a sister. She's not mentioned by Mia as a daughter. Although I have made previous videos that go into a little of these details, I'm going to be going more into detail in this video and showing you why I actually think the little girl is the ghost girl. And that's going to be my claim, guys. I think the little girl is the ghost girl. And on top of that, I do believe that a lot of time has passed since the cover art image and that the little girl has grown up to some degree, or maybe there's some kind of finer line and there's some Alma stuff going on here where the ghost girl is an older projection. So I'll be going through all of that now. So first First off, if you take a look back to the cover art, you can see that the girl is wearing some kind of dress. It's a short dress that comes down to around her thighs, and on top of that she has black hair that is long. And if you look at the ghost girl in several images, her clothing and her hair definitely match the image of the cover girl, and that's interesting in itself, but it gets further than this. If you take a look at the Resident Evil 7 lyrics for the reveal trailer, you get to hear this specific line.
I was raised in a deep dark hole, a prisoner with no parole. They locked me up and took my soul.
Now, we all know that Resident Evil 7 has been full of cryptic messages, hints, dialogue, and lines that are just out of there and have to be analyzed in depth to get the real meaning behind them. So what I would like to propose to people is you to just at least accept the idea that the song might have a deeper meaning than just being there for entertainment or atmosphere. I think these lyrics definitely have an implication to the plot, and if we listen to those lyrics, it sounds like a woman was locked up and she was basically had her soul taken away and they were ashamed of what they'd made. However, if we go further into this and take it to a deeper level, the soul of a parent could basically be considered their child. And if we look elsewhere in the VHS tapes on the Lantern trailer, for example, Mia's dialogue and her actions reveal somebody who's still coherent and intelligent and is just trying to survive. It's not like her soul has been removed. We kind of expect that from somebody when they've completely lost their marbles, when they've just become a crazy person who's no longer able to fit into society or talk to people normally. But Mia doesn't have any of those traits, so I would like to assume on this that we could interpret those lines as that her child may have been taken away from her and they were ashamed of what they'd made. Why would they be ashamed of what they'd made with Mia if they had just been locking her up? And to further concrete this, the dialogue in the Lantern trailer that has been leaked has basically shown that they were trying to get Mia back into her room, and some of the lines are very, very interesting on that. And then she also has a gift, but that basically implicates that Mia is different than everyone else. She has a gift, she's different, however they want to lock her up, and that definitely synergizes with the lyrics we just heard. Now, to further cement the idea that Mia had a child, there is also another image in the reveal trailer itself which looks very, very, very similar, almost identical to Mia from the leaked image, and it is basically a woman in a portrait photo in the baker's home that is holding a child, or what looks to be a child anyway. The object is burnt out, but at this point it is getting incredibly hard to deny that there is some sort of connection here, but it gets even further, guys. There is even more. If we actually take the song from the reveal trailer to be a message basically from Mia herself, and I do have something to further cement this, is that she calls out for Ethan basically, and that's the plot of the game itself, is for Ethan to rescue Mia from the mansion itself that was leaked in the ESRB details. So listen to this.
Call to him and he will come. She'll run to him like he's the one. His arms outstretched, but when she's done, he'll be torn apart.
So if you look at the lyrics of that song right there, it's basically that after she was imprisoned, which is right after the prison lyrics from before, it continues on to these lyrics, which is that she calls out to him and he is the one. And who is the one to a woman? Who would a woman say is my one? And I think the reasonable answer is a husband. And as we know from the plot, Ethan is going to save his wife, who is Mia, and that's why she's calling back to him in VHS tapes and why she seems so emotionally attached to him. I think Mia and Ethan have this connection and it makes sense, and I think that's basically confirmed, to be honest, with all of the details that have been released in the leaks, especially the ESRB leak. However, why will he be torn apart when he finally comes? And why is it going to be a she that tears him apart? I think this is referencing to that Mia's going to tear him apart herself, or it's going to be the child, but I do think it could be either one, because it seems like both of them are now infected. So guys, if you actually have been listening to this entire video and you're looking at these facts, we can basically interpret that the song is actually a message about Mia herself. So if you actually look at the lyrics of the original song that Go Tell Aunt Rhody is based on, the lyrics are actually go tell Aunt Rhody that the grey goose is dead, the one she's been saving to make a feather bed. The gooselings are mourning because their mother's dead. The old gander's weeping because his wife is dead. She died in the mill pond from standing on her head. Go tell Aunt Rhody the old grey goose is dead. So if we take these lyrics apart some part, and I know this is going pretty far, guys, but basically the gooselings are mourning because their mother's dead and the old gander's weeping because his wife is dead. This could be a metaphorical meaning to that Mia has died because she's become changed, she's become infected, and that her persona herself has died and this murderistic alter ego has come out. And maybe the VHS tapes we're seeing are just a recollection of who Mia was before she became completely infected, and maybe her child was actually infected before this, and this is why Mia was hunting through to actually go to this mansion and not just trying to escape before.
She's back.
Call to him and he will come. He'll be torn apart.
I think with the lyrics of the song and the scene, you can really kind of place with my theory as well that Mia and the Bakers were associated before. I've made a previous video on maybe Mia is actually Mia Baker. If you want to go check that out, it adds to this theory especially. However, I just want to say, like I said, it seems like they're associated with the girl. They're aware of what's going on, and all of these images are so closely linked, and even the lyrics of the song are linked. I definitely think Mia is associated with the family, and I think the girl and the little girl are associated and is actually Mia's daughter. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a subscribe if you want to become part of my community. And I've decided, I think I'm going to call it the Avid Army, what you guys are. So if you want to become a part of the Avid Army, guys, just leave a like and a subscribe and a comment if you really enjoyed the video or if you have anything further to discuss. But for now, guys, I hope you all are having a beautiful day and you go through it in your mind and analyze it. Thank you very much for watching and have a beautiful day. Peace.